Welcome back, everybody. Farpoint acquisition purchasing Swiss payments company Global Blue for $2.6 billion, including debt. The fintech company processes transactions for international shoppers and has been majority owned by private equity firm Silver Lake since 2012. Silver Lake is going to be keeping a minority stake in this. But joining us first on CNBC is Tom Farley. He is Farpoint Acquisition's founder and a CNBC contributor. And Tom, it's great to see you.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Congratulations. This is big
Thank
news.
you.
You've been working on this for quite a while.
I have been working on it quite a while. First conversation I had with Silver Lake was, I think, actually the week we raised the capital way back in the summer of 18. These guys at Silver Lake are impressive. I mean, to a great extent, I was able to just kind of ride their deal-making machine. Very good technology investor. A guy named Joe Osnos there shepherded the transaction.
So how did you persuade them to do this as opposed to take the company public in a more traditional way?
They, you know, if I can kind of toot the Farpoint horn, they saw an opportunity to partner with us. They thought it could be helpful. The team of me as chairman, but equally important, or more important, the CEO, Jacques Cern, who runs the business today, has run the business for 4 years, previously public market executive of Edenred, did a great job for investors there. Silver Lake thought that for the next leg, this was an opportunity to really create value for the business.
I think it's probably important that Silver Lake is keeping a stake in the company, too. That speaks volumes about their confidence in what happens next.
Well, also, they've owned it for 8 yeyears. So you guys know the private equity model is you invest and you got to get the dough back and you give it back to their investors. And so they're going to be in with a 40% stake. They're not selling out. They don't run for the hills. They're excited about the next chapter.
Dan Loeb is putting more money in through Third Point. You have Alibaba and Financial.
Yeah, it's really an all-star cast. So there's $1 billion of equity going in the business. 650 we already have in trust, 125 from Ant Financial. You know, relationships matter. When you're a kid straight out of school, you hear that and like you don't really know what it means. I mean, Ant Financial, I met on the floor of the stock exchange in the Alibaba IPO. Silver Lake, we purchased IDC when I was at ICE and NYSE. Dan Loeb was a friendship that it's a decade in the making. So Ant Financial is coming in for 125 million. Third Point's coming in for 100 million, and then a number of new investors are coming in for an incremental 125 million. New investors, long only, fundamental hedge funds.
When will there be a vote, and when will this deal close?
The vote comes at the end of the process.
Right.
So this is a little odd. Typically with SPACs, and when I say typically, every time that I know of, the vote is yes, because of the way SPACs are structured. But you have to go through the approvals process with the SEC. It takes 2.5 to 3 months.
Okay.
So think kind of maybe mid-April, but that's just an estimate. Please don't rely on that.
Why Global Blue? What did you like about the company?
So what Global Blue does basically is what Jacques has done is digitize the VAT refund business. So Americans aren't even that familiar with VAT. In a nutshell, VAT is value-added tax. 40 years ago, there were no VAT regimes anywhere in the world. Today, there's 170. 80 of them allow you to get a refund if you're a foreigner. And so Global Blue refunds the tourist who's traveling to France and buying an Hermes scarf, if you will. They have 70% market share. They're digitizing that process. And the thing I love about the business, to answer your question directly, is as the emerging market economies grow, more middle class, more rich people, what do they want to do? They want to travel and spend. Chinese are a big component of this, thus Ant Financial.
That was the next question I was going to ask, which is long term, do you use this as an opportunity to roll up other businesses and expand that business? Or why wouldn't Ant Financial just say, you know what, I love this idea so much, I'm just going to pick this whole thing off?
It's very strategic.
Okay.
So Ant Financial is not the only strategic investor who was interested in this business. In payments, I'm getting a little bit nerdy here, but in payments, cross-border payments are far and away the most lucrative place. So like the card networks, 4 to 5% of their volume is cross-border, 40% of their revenue. Right. This company, Global Blue, that's all they do, cross-border payments. So if you're the Ant Financials of the world, one of the best financial technology companies the world's ever known, and you're looking to export more and more and more out of China into cross-border, or you're the big payments guys like Fiserv or FIS or those types of guys, or the card networks, you're looking to do more in cross-border. Right. And so Global Blue is very strategic. So when you say, will we do acquisitions? Yeah, we'll do acquisitions opportunistically, but it's also just growing. The business is just growing.
But is it possible 12, 18 months, 2 years from now that Ant Financial just says, you know what, like let's just take this whole business at it? completely.
Yeah, that's not a strategy, but yeah, I mean, it's in a Venn diagram. It sits between those kind of three groups of strategic players. Well, the business is growing 8% year to date organically. It has structural growth. Like CEOs come on all the time and say, "Oh, our business has structural growth." No, there will be more wealthy people in China traveling and buying.
Where's Eissens, Switzerland? Where is it, near Zurich?
It's near Geneva.
You want me to stop by? I'm going to go on Monday, kick the tires. I mean, I'd hate to get there in a big facade, just like a fake. I mean, you check this out. Right?
Yeah, No, and as chairman, I get to schedule the board meeting. So all four are going to be in January, February. So
do you want me to go?
I'm going to have a strategy session.
Are you going to Davos this year?
I'm not.
You're not. Then I will stop by that place and I'll tell you what I think of it. Yeah.